Now we're cooking. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Here we go now.
Back to throw. McMillan, and that is incomplete here. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Off the play fake. McMillan. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And Inc will need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, McMillan. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here we go now.
Off play action. McMillan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Perry in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And he's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And it's a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, Cook. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming.
Set. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. Throwing is Rodgers. And some space here. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him a gain of 38.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
319! 319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
319!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Man open left side. It's Williams. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing now is Rodgers. He's going to go up top for the end zone. Touchdown, Packers. In for the score. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And there's the total for the season. Of course, every runner wants to hit that 1,000-yard mark. He's going to need to turn up production a little bit if he wants to do just that.
And I think he'll get a lot of help because teammates want players to get to milestones. And 1,000 yards for any running back in the NFL, that's a milestone. And it reflects positively on the team, too, as well, when a person reaches that threshold. So he's not just out there running by himself. He'll get plenty of escorts, and I think guys will do a little extra blocking for him in this one.
And I'm guessing he knows what he needs to get to reach 1,000.
Any runner that tells you that he doesn't
is lying.
Yes.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Ball start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 2nd down.
Wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Off the bootleg. McMillan. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Cameron Hayward in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Now he'll let it go deep left side. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Here we go now. Green 39.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 14 carries, 82 yards, and a touchdown.
Has 9 rushing touchdowns on the season, so a lot of credit has to go to the rest of the offense because you know those big guys up front are doing work. But now the goal is to get to 10. And don't for a second think that the defense doesn't know that. They'd like to do their best to keep him out of the end zone in this one.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still third down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable third down, 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. McMillan. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding, offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And this third down looking very tough after the holding
All right, here we
penalty.
go.
3rd and long.
39.
Back to throw. McMillan. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion. And what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
19.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A give. This is Cook. Open space inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
That's big league run takes them down inside the 5-yard line, and momentum definitely on the side of the guys on offense. And if you're an offensive lineman, you love to run the football, especially out in the field where there's some space. But I will let you in on a little bit of a secret. Those guys like it in tight, too, because they get matched up and they get to show just how stout they are in a tough situation. They're recommending they run it again.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy. And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a 1st down.
And his kick is indeed good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. That's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
319!
On 1st down, Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory if he's hard.
319!
And on the ground they go with a running back. Spinning away. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throw left side complete. It's Adams. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
319!
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. To the right side and complete to Hurst. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw on second down, McMillan. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
To throw on 3rd down, McMillan. And he's able to find Diggs. And a gain there of 11 yards.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Looking to throw. McMillan, and complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
319. 319.
Operating from the gun. McMillan, throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing on 1st down. McMillan. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. Here's Rodgers. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he comes back with one complete. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
From the gun, McMillan. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
On first down, McMillan. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! 319! 319!
Operating from the gun, McMillan. And Rudolph has got it. Touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, as the first half is winding down, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. So we've come upon halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Linval Joseph in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
319!
Rodgers going to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to throw. McMillan. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
From the gun, McMillan. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. He'd had some success as a runner previously on this drive, just not as much space there that time.
Yeah, this time when he pulled it down, they were ready for him, so I think he's going to have to fling a few in order to open up that running lane again.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
58. Get reset. Hey, easy.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
319! 319!
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Linval Joseph, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Vikings on third down. They're at 2.
Let's go!
Looking to throw. McMillan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Taken in at the 11. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 42 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator is looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, a 22.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
That's mine. Yeah.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McLaughlin. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The Packers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 15. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start. Offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. To throw, it's Rodgers. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, McMillan, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
An excellent pickup of 34 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Rodgers will try again on second down. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On third down, it's Hubbard. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. On 3rd down, that's Hubbard. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really with the 4-minute offense is
the big fella! Rudolph showing the power, and he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 60 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to get a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick here is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his third.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. Rodgers to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Rodgers. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Back to throw, Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
This is caught. Touchdown, Packers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Again, it's Cook. Bust through the tackle. A big seam, and he might go all the way.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota, it will wind up a 500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. But more importantly, they'll get a week to rest as they've earned a first-round bye in this year's playoffs.
You